ladies and gentlemen. I ain't gonna bore you with all the airplane flying and in and out of airports. So we're gonna start off day one of Alaska Blacktail Adventure 2024. Got Jay here. He's getting in on it. He and I have paired up and we're gonna go after some blacktails for a week. Maybe do a little duck hunting and just have a big old adventure. So it is Saturday, first day of the hunt, about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we got about 3 hours or so of daylight. We're already 2 does in and just can't wait. Just amazing country, place you thought you'd never see in your lifetime, you know, and here we are, we're doing it. So, in fact, it's November 23rd. I'm in a t-shirt out here. Snow on the peaks. So, it's going to be a blast. We'll check in later tonight. All right, see you. All right, Jay, we're doing it, buddy.
Let's fucking go.
All right, give you an update. So last night we saw 10 does, 1 3-point, I guess 6-point buck for those eastern guys, chasing the doe still, dogging them. And then right at last light, couldn't get a shot. And a grizzly bear that came in at like 60, 70 yards. Got a cool video of that. So that was the recap of the end of the first day for a few hours. It's the first full official hunting day. So it's Sunday, the 24th. And we just got dropped off. See the boat in the background. We're now walking a beach all behind me here. We're gonna dip into the alders now and do a big power hike up in towards some lakes. And seems like all the other hunters previous to us were getting them at 700,000-800,000 foot elevation. So we're gonna see if we can get back up, find that buck, and go from there. So wish us luck. First full day. I think we're gonna give it an entire day. Try to come back to the beach at night and get some video and update as we go. All right, see you later. All right, here we go. Day one, Sunday, the 24th, I guess. Or no, Saturday, 23rd, my bad. No, I don't even know what it is. Sunday. We just hiked up into a spot. We're like 800-900 foot elevation from the shore. And we're into 2 bucks. One small 2-point or a 4-point. And another heavier, bigger bodied, but it looks like a 2-point. Problem is, as you can see around me, is if I show you, he's way up in that fog bank up there. So we've only been able to see him a couple times for just a little bit. Looks like a 2-point. If he's got 3s, they're super small. He might have some little eye guards, but it's hard to tell. So he's with a doe. We're trying to wait him out right now, and we'll see what happens. Camcorder battery died. So if we do shoot him, there won't be any footage, but we're going to wait it out and see what happens. I don't know. It's a first day deer. I don't want to put my hands on a 2-point necessarily right away, but he's like an old, mature looking buck, big body, gray face, you know, heavy antlers. So I'm trying to decide if a mature buck, kind of bird in the hand type thing is the way to go right now. So anyway, I don't know if you can see, but we're both glassing and trying to see what we can do, but we'll give you an update in a minute. All right, see you. Sorry, I'm out of breath, but we did it. I don't know if you can see this view. It doesn't look like much, but I've been up and down, Jay and I, we've been up and down this stuff. What you can't see is that stuff's like straight vertical. And we've been up and down it twice today chasing deer. And a buck just came out at 4:45. I hit him right up on the shoulder high. He took off, went into some alders. So I came up and made a play to see if I could find him down in the alders or what. And he had moved uphill on me probably 150, 175 yards, and he was gimping off. So he was facing away from me. I hit him once right in the rear hind, and he stopped, and I put one right in the broadside. So shitty shooting on my part, I get it. But made a 400-yard, 300-yard play to come and put this buck down before he took off with three-legged. And that's exactly what we did. So got a buck down. He's probably 100, 100 and a quarter. I don't know if you can tell. Right up in that stuff, right in there. So I'm waiting for Jay. He's grabbing his stuff and he's hiking down here. He was glassing from the hill, one of those little knobs right there. That's where we shot from. So I watched him crash into some thick stuff, and by the time Jay gets over here, it'll probably be 15, 20 minutes. We'll go up and recover him and show you. Hard to tell what he is. It looks like he might be a 3 on one side and like maybe a 2 on the other. It was hard to tell. I thought it was a 2, and then when he turned once, I thought I could see 3 points. So he might be a 3 on one side. I don't know. But, man, I don't know if you can tell. I am dripping sweat from pounding through alders and, you know, rose hips as thick as all get out. Imagine scrub oak out west, almost the same height, except full of thorns like a rose bush. And then trying to bushwhack through just groves of those things. Yeah. And I'm looking to see how tore up I am. I know I got a couple of thorns in my hand that are pretty deep and I won't be able to get out, but we did it. The first full day of hunting, so Sunday, we got a buck down. And Jay almost shot a smaller 2-point about an hour ago, and then we come off the hill and set up here and glass this buck up with 2 does, bumping does around. So anyway, I don't know if you can see the view. I mean, absolutely gorgeous up here. Gorgeous. So super stoked. Go up and see what he is and bringing a buck home, bunch of meat. So I'm really excited to maybe have some back straps for dinner tonight and eat this buck up. He looks like a good buck. He was all grayed up, completely gray. Hard to tell. I mean, it might get up there and be a young buck. I don't know, but just looking at him, man, he looked like a little bit more mature buck. But I'll let you know when he gets down here. All that gray right there, all that is absolutely hellacious. So I can hear him bushwhacking through, but anyway, all right, I'll give you an update here in a few minutes when we get up there. Whew, man, I hasn't even sunk in yet. This is absolutely crazy. Wow. In Alaska. I'm trying, honestly, I'm trying not to sound stupid, but man, it almost gets you emotional. Just like, Yeah, wow. Wow. Anyway, yeah, super stoked to go see this buck, man. At this point, I don't even care if he is a 2-point. I don't even care if he's a spike at this point, man. I'm super proud of him and what we've been doing hunting up here. We're, man, couldn't be in a more gorgeous place. I mean, just, anyway, man. All right, well, I'll see you guys in a few minutes. All right, see you. All right, you're gonna see it first. This is what we're coming up. It's like, I don't even know what the angle that is. 40 degrees or something. It's freaking ridiculous. Anyway, here we go. He's a 3 with an eye guard on one and a 3 with an eye guard on the other. Here we go. Woo! Took one right straight out in the face. Wow. It's a 4. A 4x3. Holy shit. Yep.
Congratulations on me.
Wow.
It's a great buck.
Wow. Jay, pathetic shooting.
But you got it done.
But we got a dead deer. Holy shit. We're gonna pose them up because this background for pictures, holy cow. We did it, guys. There's like, bro, I don't know about you, man. I don't want to sound stupid, but I told him the video earlier. Like, I legit, you know, super emotional, man.
Yeah.
Come and do this all the way up here.
Hell yeah.
In this place.
It's incredible.
All right.
Shoot a deer like that, dude. That's.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
We got him. We got him. Dude, one of the rounds went out right out the top of his nose.
Man, I wonder if that was the one that you...
Wow.
Yeah.
That high shoulder and like skipped out. Wow. I mean, he's got one right through the shoulder.
Yeah.
Tough deer. All right, we're gonna get some pictures set up. All right, we'll see you later. All right, we're coming off the hill. Got a deer in there, buck in there. Jay's got the other half the deer. And we are in some steep stuff. And it is thick. Oh man, anyway, we're heading back. And I think we're gonna make it back before dark, which is gonna be even better because we're a day and a half into hunting. And we've had 2 grizzlies, one at like 60, 70 yards and the other at about 150. So there's bears everywhere out here. And it'll be nice to get back with a deer carcass and get to dry ground on the boat before anything else comes to try to sniff us out. So anyway, we are bushwhacking our way down with all this meat, man, and I tell you what, I couldn't be happier. Awesome trip. I mean, we went from seeing 2 points this morning and trying to make judgment calls on, you know, if it was maybe a 3, maybe a 2x3, to, you know, the fog rolling in for 3-4 hours where we couldn't even see you know, areas where we truly wanted to glass to, you know, now here we are, the fog rolled out and spotted some deer low and just made it happen. So sucks we had to hit him a few times, but he went down quick and we got a deer in the salt. So now we just got to get J1 and we're shooting ducks. So super pumped. Anyway, we'll give you a shout once we get back to the boat, and if I don't knock any of my teeth out with this bipod on the way down. But yeah, we just came down that thing. What an absolute nightmare. So anyway, all right, we'll catch you later. All right, ladies and gentlemen, forgot to do the morning update. It's Monday the 25th. Me and Jay spotted from way down there. Sorry, it's like a 60-degree slope up here. You can probably tell in the back. Way down there. Like, is that a buck? There's like a buck bedded up on that ridge. And he's right up on the knob right here. We climb up 214, something like that, 214. Look at him, he a nice buck. We get up here, we're like, man, do we hike up? Do we not hike up? We'd seen one buck all morning and we're like, we're hiking up. Us mountain boys, we ain't shooting a beach deer. Let's make it hard. Anyway, we humped up here and Jay dumped him in his bed. Dude didn't even flinch. So we're gonna hike up 214 yards, which is really gonna be about 2,004 yards by the time we get up there. But we are freaking pumped. It's day 2.5. 2 bucks down. We're tagged out. It's time for ducks, time to fish. I think we might kick him and let him roll all the way down. I don't know what we're gonna do, but anyway, I'll take another video when we get up there. It's about 1 o'clock-ish, 12:30. Yeah, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we have had a hellacious day. It's 20 degrees or less with the wind chill. But I'll get a video when we get there. All right, see ya. We made it, boys. We made it. There he is. Absolutely stud deer. Eye guards, big 2. Huge neck, all fucking thick. Bro, what do you think?
Stoked.
Absolutely stoked. What a buck. Because he had like a gray face when he was looking at us. What a stud. All the way up here. What? I don't know a better place to shoot a buck at right now. Absolutely stunning. Wow. We started all the way down right there by the boat. That's where we started today. Right in his bed. Congrats, brother.
Thank you, man.
We did
Appreciate it.
All right.
So far.
We'll update you in a bit. All right, here we are. It's Tuesday morning, the 26th of November. And I just got set up to do some duck hunting. First sea duck hunting since I've been here. First sea duck hunting ever in my life. I've already seen some beautiful golden eyes and a couple other species, you know, winging across the water. Couldn't quite tell what they were, but absolutely gorgeous. So can't wait to get on some birds and hopefully give you an update here in a little bit. And let's see if I can get spun around here. Got some beaks out and just absolutely gorgeous. So anyway, give you an update here in a little bit. All right, see you. A little bit hard to tell, but we did it, boys. Got a Drake Harlequin down. Cannot believe it. What a day. Out in this gorgeous bay. Little island chain. Absolutely amazing. All right, update later. All right, guys. It is the 27th. It is Wednesday, 27th of November. Duck hunting day 2. I got a hen goldeneye and a hen harlequin on the board. I missed a gorgeous Drake harlequin. I don't know how, but anyway. It has been slim pickings on the duck hunting though. So, not sure if it's just time of year, if it's us, you know, specific spots. I don't know rhyme or reason. So I'm just in a new, I guess, area, and I've shot at maybe 5 birds, maybe something like that. I've been out here for an hour and a half or so. I guess not bad. I just, for some reason, in my mind, I just saw like droves of sea ducks and stuff in my head. But anyway, I'm sure it's all location specific. But anyway, still doing okay. Picking a few birds here and there. We got all day still. There seemed to be a giant lull yesterday, about midday for 3 or so hours. So anyway, forgot to do an update last night, but about 15 minutes of shooting time left. I picked out a gorgeous Drake Barrows. So I had a Drake Harlequin and a Drake Barrows yesterday. The only 2 birds I shot, and I can't complain because both of them are absolutely gorgeous. And today's just icing on the cake, you know, now. So super pumped to be here. You know, even duck hunting in Kodiak. I mean, how many people can say that? It's awesome. So was hoping for a little more variety on the sea ducks, but again, I don't know the location and time of year. I truly have no idea. So, but anyway, just give you, I'm sitting on a beach, and that's my view. Can't beat that. So anyway, we're gonna ride this out the rest of the day. Probably go back to the boat here in an hour-ish or so. Hour and a half, I don't know, somewhere in there. Get some lunch, warm up, get some coffee or something, and then come back out for the last 3 or 4 hours, something like that. Maybe move to another spot further down. I don't know. But anyway, hell of a trip. And then I think after today, sounds like we are going to spend all day tomorrow fishing. So looking for any of the rockfish species and maybe a little bit of halibut or something like that. So it'll truly just be one gigantic Alaskan experience out here on Kodiak, I'll tell you what. And just couldn't be more amazed at this country and well, the country as a whole, of course, but the Alaska country. Just, man, the environment out here is wild. It is truly wild. It is cool. So, but anyway, I'll give you an update later this evening. I'll try not to forget this time. I get so wrapped up in just the beauty of this place and just being here still. It hasn't even sank in that I'm here. And I'm you know, been here for 5 days or whatever. But anyway, yeah, I'll give you an update later. All right, wish me luck. All right, well, as you can see, I'm no longer on the boat. So trip's over. It is now, what, Monday the 2nd of December. So I've been home for a day now. Of course, I didn't update any videos the last couple of days. Spaced it, doing other stuff, ton of logistical things, and just totally spaced it. But Thursday, I duck hunted until probably about noon, 12:30, something like that. And I was just, it was just done. Duck hunting was, at least where we were set up or placed or whatever you want to call it, the duck hunting was garbage. I shot one harlequin drake, one harlequin hen, and like I think 2 drake golden eyes for a day and a half of duck hunting. So it was pretty sparse. That was kind of a bummer. I was hoping to get into more sea duck varieties, and they were out there. I saw longtails in the harbor, different scoters as we were motoring across the bay, things like that. So, I mean, there was other birds there. I'm sure there's other places to get opportunity, but we just didn't have that opportunity. So, big bummer there. So the last half of Thursday, so I ended up coming back to the boat. There was no point in just sitting out there not shooting anything. And I'd already taken a drake Harley and a drake goldeneye, so I wasn't just going to sit out there and shoot hens just for the heck of it, or, you know, 6 drake goldeneye for the heck of it. I mean, at least that was me. I wasn't going to do that, so there's that. But I came back to the boat and the deckhand kid had some tags to fill. So since our boat was all tagged out, it was legal for him to go hunt. So I told him he could use my rifle to go hunt. He had a shotgun with some slugs, so he's plenty capable. He shot a deer already with a shotgun, so I know he's capable of doing it. But hey, just to give him a little bit more range, I offered to let him use my rifle, and we took that out. And we hit the beach in a new spot. Never hunted the area, obviously never hunted any of the areas, so I have no idea. I don't think he's been up in that area. And we hit the beach, hiked up onto a knob, probably 50 feet above the beach line, and in elevation from the beach, probably like 50 feet, got on this little hill. There's a set of 3 hills. We got on the far one. The middle hill was a deer walking on it as soon as we get up to the top. Can't see what it is, it's a deer. We kind of wrap around the back of the hill that we're on in case he pops out, and sure enough, it's a doe and a small, barely a 2-point. So deer kind of runs off through some thick stuff, gets up on a side hill about 100 yards, and he drills it, puts his buck down, and we go up, grab it, drag it back to the beach. I think he said it was like 160 or 70 foot of elevation was where the buck died from the beach. And from when we hit the beach to when we hit the beach with a buck was like 43 minutes or something like that. It was wild. Something compared to all the work we did, you know, the previous days to get our deer and pack them out and everything like that. And he goes out and drills one, you know, 300 yards from the beach as the crow flies, something like that. It was pretty wild. So super proud of him, like 20-year-old kid, real good kid. And in fact, other than shooting the deer, he's, you know, the best part of the trip, hard worker, you know, all that stuff. So, but yeah, so he got a deer. So at the end of the day, in total, we had 2 Alaska residents on the boat, 4 non-residents on the boat, and then the deckhand kid that had tags. And we ended up getting a total of 11 bucks on the boat, all bucks. No does were shot. and that was awesome. So hell of a trip. A couple other guys that were with us that were duck hunting, they shot a few Harley Drakes and a couple of Golden Eyes, and that's where they were when they left, so that was pretty awesome. It was just, duck hunting sucked. Who do you blame for that other than nature, I guess? You know what I mean? But we did get some birds, that was cool. And so kind of helped the kid out while he was running people duck hunting and picking up birds and just doing stuff like that. Gutted his deer and hung it up for him and stuff, and so it was all ready for him. So that was pretty cool. And that really just finished out Thursday, and then it was Thanksgiving, I guess, that day. And so we had Thanksgiving dinner, and a hell of a spread. Turkey, gravy, potatoes, instant potatoes, of course. But stuffing and cranberry sauce, and heck of a Thanksgiving spread. Ate until we couldn't eat anymore. It was awesome. By far the best meal of the trip. Meals were good, but that was by far the best full meal of the trip. It was awesome. So could not complain about that at all. Hell of a spread. And then Friday was kind of, I guess, for the charter, I guess that was pretty much, we're done hunting, and took us out in the bay. A few guys wanted to fish, try to catch a halibut, rockfish, things like that. So we went out into the bay and just got sloshed around in 3-4 foot rollers all day long while some guys fished. And I caught a cod like first thing in the morning, within maybe like 30 minutes, an hour of fishing or something like that. A pretty decent sized, like maybe, I don't know, 12, 15 pounder or something like that. It's a good sized fish. And then a few of the other guys fished, caught some cod, a couple halibut, black rockfish, just a few things here and there throughout the course of the day. And towards the end of the day, motored back to the harbor and slept in the harbor for the night on the boat and called it a day. And that was the trip. So I wouldn't say we finished out strong by any means, but we finished, and everyone got a deer. So everyone accomplished what they went up there for. We had an adventure. Everyone had an adventure. I know all of us came back just beat, tired, ready for a shower. Nobody had a shower in 7 days. There's no showers on the boat unless you want to jump in the water. And I don't know, salinity to normal water temp, how that all factors in, but there was talk of the water temp being 32 degrees, but being it was salt water, it was a lot colder, and there was talks of it being 26 degrees. So I would just say it was in between 25 and 32 degrees for the water temperature. So I wasn't too jazzed up to go jump in the harbor for a shower. I just figured I'd let everyone else suffer, and everyone was doing the same. So it was what it was. But the adventure, second to none for me. We saw 2 grizzly bears, a grip of deer. We saw bucks every day, small bucks to, the buck I shot, big 3 points, a really solid, big, mature 2 point that we hemmed and hawed on, forever, that we talked about in the fog. Just had a great adventure. I saw a salmon shark on the surface of the ocean, chase some fish, splash on. We thought it was a porpoise and ended up being a shark once we got up to it. I just couldn't get a video in time. It was like about a 4.5, 5 footer. That was awesome. The ducks species that we saw, other wildlife species, just absolutely amazing. We had a week weather window that was absolutely unheard of for Kodiak this time of year. Sun was out every day, but one day where it was overcast. I think the day I shot my deer was a little bit overcast that day, and then the fog had rolled in for a good portion of that day too. But short of that, we had sun out every day, partly cloudy, but just amazing weather. A little bit of wind off and on, but nothing to, worry about or cause any issues or anything like that. But Weather was incredible. I don't know how we got lucky with that, but absolutely amazing. Like I said, got a deer, fish, ducks. I mean, other than, hoping to get some more few duck species, it was amazing. I shot at a fox, a huge red fox. Buck fevered it, I guess, and missed. Have no idea to this day how that fox is still alive, but I guess it wasn't meant to be. So, but that was awesome. I shot at a fox. That was cool. Some of the other guys said they saw 3 foxes. So, I mean, how do you beat that? That is just awesome. But I will say this. The trip in and of itself was the absolute adventure that I hoped for. I was definitely surprised, and I wasn't the only one, because the 6 of us met up for dinner Friday night after we got back into Kodiak, and we all met for dinner and talked about our experiences and what we thought our expectations were and what they ended up being and just stuff like that. Just had a good night. And I will say, the conditions were a lot more rustic, I guess would be the word, than what I went into it thinking. And I guess that's on me because I assumed, and we all know what that means. But I guess number one, sleeping quarters, I don't know why, but I swear somewhere along the way, I'll swear on anything, that along the way somewhere, I was either told or I read that we would have our own individual sleeping quarters, our own individual cabin. 60-foot boat, individual cabins, with individual bathroom or 2. I think it was at least a full bathroom. Well, we were on a 40-foot boat, and there was no showers unless we wanted to take the sink apart in the bathroom and use the hose to try to spritz us off for a little bit, which nobody was going to do. And there was definitely no individual sleeping quarters. The sleeping quarters were in the bow of the boat with like Coast Guard 3-on-3 on each side, Coast Guard bunks, where like your feet are basically touching at each bunk. 6 guys, no shower for a week with all of our gear. Yeah, so that was a little bit of a surprise. Again, not just for me, for everyone else that was there on the trip, except for the few guys that had done the trip before that knew what to expect. However, we didn't know that going into it, but the other 2 guys were aware, so we'll take them out of the equation. The 4 of us that had never done it before, that was a surprise. The bathroom was a surprise. You were about 10 inches from the floor, sitting on a porcelain hole with a basically like a meat grinder in the bottom, where you take a dump into a meat grinder so it would grind it up and go out. Weren't allowed to put toilet paper in there. We weren't allowed to put wipes in there because allegedly it would bind it up, and then somebody would have to take it apart and fix it. So what would you do with those, might you ask? Well, we were to put them in a 5-gallon bucket next to your knee that was hitting it, because the bathroom was about the size of a Yeti 45 cooler. And then it would have to be burned once a week. So, needless to say, I was happy to get off the boat to go hunting on shore. So that was different. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, but another just expectation of assumption, I suppose. So I would have definitely liked to have been prepared for that mentally for some reason. At the end of the day, I don't know. Maybe I'm just whining about it, but I just thought maybe for the money that was paid, that would have been kind of a nice creature comfort on the boat to have, but it just is what it is. Can't materialize a normal bathroom, I guess. So that's boat living, and I guess I shouldn't complain because at least we had something, right? But yeah, so the living accommodations or sleeping accommodations, I guess not so much a living, but sleeping accommodations and the bathroom were by far the biggest shocks of the trip, because it was definitely made, I'll swear on anything, definitely made to sound a lot different than when we walked on the boat and got the tour for the first time. I think the four of us that had never done it before, I think our jaws hit the floor like, wait, what? It's going to be a long week. So fortunately, the hunting and the adventure superseded all of that. But now I'm back, I'm reflecting, talking about my experience, and it was very interesting that way. So food was decent. We had a guy cooking for us, so I mean, how do you complain about that? Between the captain and the deckhand, they shared responsibilities on cooking. So, once again, I can't complain because I didn't make the food and it was provided to me. So it wasn't freaking, as much as I like peak meals, from you heard from other videos, but at least it was not a week of peak meals. It wasn't a week of Mountain House. It wasn't a week of MREs. It was definitely several notches above that. That is for sure. It was cooked food. I mean, we had, some steaks one night with some like instant mashed potatoes and stuff. And, the turkey dinner. I mean, a turkey dinner on a boat like that with a oven the size of a Blue Death box. I mean, pretty magical to make a Thanksgiving dinner with 2 burners, electric burners on the stove. I mean, to have the spread that we did, these guys definitely did some stuff. But like one of the mornings was instant, or 2 of the mornings were instant pancakes. That was it. You just had crusties, water mix, put on a pan, enough for about 2, 3, 4 instant pancakes per person. That was it. No bacon, sausage, eggs, nothing else, unless you, I guess, asked for it specifically. Wasn't there. So, I mean, again, just kind of like the little things where you're like, man, I mean, for the money, a couple eggs, some bacon, I don't want to feel like I'm asking for a lot. I'm very grateful. And so that's not what this is about, complaining, but I'm just, I guess, telling you, if anyone does this hunt, these should be your expectations. At least there was cooked food, but I guess for everything that we do in life, there's always room for improvement, right? Just like my shooting this trip. My shooting was terrible on that deer. Still to this day. I hit the deer 3 times out of 4 shots before the deer finally died. 1 in the shoulder, 1 in the ass, 1 up in the nose. Horrific shooting. Absolutely horrific. But we all can improve on stuff, right? So, these are just, again, my experience. Maybe I'm speaking a little bit for the other people too, but we agreed on a lot of these topics, so I'll just tell you that much. But yeah, food was okay. It was hot food. You had sandwiches to make during the day to take up on the hill with you. Like you could either do a PB&J or you could do sandwich meat, and then they had like granola bars and some candy and things like that you could throw in your pack. So the lunch was whatever. I nobody cares about that. Throw some sandwiches in the bag, a couple power bars. Yeah, that was money. Drinks. We're providing coffee, all the Gatorade you want, all the water that you want. I'll have to go look back. I don't remember it saying bottled water, but water, coffee, Gatorade. Any other drinks, whether it be beer or sodas, or if you want Prime, or you know what I mean, anything other than those 3 options, I hold up 4. Anything other than those 3 options you had to bring when you flew in on Island Air and you landed. So you had to, pay for the weight when you take it in your gear. Fine. I'm not that picky. Gatorade, water, coffee, that's plenty for me for a week. I'll bring a case of beer and have some beers while I'm cutting up deer or something like that, or sitting around when it's dark for 10 hours, or not even 10 hours, like 14 hours or 15 hours when it was dark or whatever it was. I think we had like 7 hours of daylight or something. So anyway, it was Gatorade powder. So you definitely had all the Gatorade you could drink when you mix the Gatorade powder. So I guess you would need a container to mix that with, right? Well, in the saving of weight and the grip of gear I took, again, packing for the worst, expecting the best, a Nalgene bottle was not one of the items that I brought, because I figured I'm on a boat with all the water I can drink and all the Gatorade I can drink. Why would I need a container to put it in if things are already in containers? Therein lies where the assumptions come in. So the bottle of water that was on the boat was non-existent, because the 6 or 7 bottles of water left on the boat in the refrigerator were the captain's bottles of water. None of us knew that. So the first day that we were there, the first night, when we all go hunting, we just opened the refrigerator thinking, what's mine is yours now that we're clients on the boat getting stuff out. We grab bottles of water. There's like 6 or 7 in there. I take a couple to mix my Gatorade powder and my Mio in. That was also provided, by the way. And only to come to find out that we were taking the captain's water, I guess. I found out through the grapevine. So then, I guess as a stroke of luck, I now came across a container for the rest of the trip to get the tap water to make my Mio and my Gatorade stuff. So small things that are small in the grand scheme of things. It would have been nice to know that that meant you make your own Gatorade and you need to bring something to hold water in, or else you won't have anything to take with you when you're up hunting. So don't be like me, learn from me, and just pack a Nalgene bottle at an extra 1/4 of a pound and put it in your carry-on or something so you have it. But either way, you're gonna pay for it in the weight, doesn't matter. But if you're gonna do this, bring something to put and hold water in, at least a Nalgene bottle. Okay, moving on. The normal living conditions in the boat, were outside of the little bunk house in the bow, which was like 10 by 8 maybe, and tapered. So I don't know how much square footage that removes, but it definitely wasn't 80 square feet. But the normal living conditions, from the galley to the door that leads out to the processing deck. The processing deck's probably 20 feet, a little over 20 feet long maybe. So probably almost half the boat, like over a, 2/3 of the boat was maybe a living area, the captain's quarters from the bow. The last third was the processing deck, which was covered and tarped and nice, and had some tables out there and places to hang deer and process and stuff like that. It was, big coolers or freezers. So that was nice. You can fish out there and stuff. Living quarter area, Not much room in the galley, of course. I mean, you're talking about a smaller boat now. You have 8 people on the boat trying to move around in there. Sorry, I'm gonna get in the coffee. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna go sit on the table over here. You know what I mean? So a little tight, 6 dudes. You know, one guy was my height, probably another 50 pounds. You know, it's tough. It's tough condition. Another guy was at least 6'1"-ish, and you know, my weight, stuff like that. So you got 3 bigger dudes on the boat. I mean, it's just tough. How do you expect that? But you know, living conditions were tight. So, but you're outside. When you're outside, it's 10 degrees outside. So how long are you going to go stand on the deck back there? You know, enough to process your deer, and then you're coming in to get warm for 5-10 minutes and go out, try to cut a little, you know, and do all that kind of stuff. So it was tight, but you know, there was good and bad. The weather, hell, we even had a boat to even hunt on. I mean, you know, we had hot food when we wanted it. We had a place to sleep. Worst come to worst, we did have a bathroom. So, you know, there was some good, you know, there definitely, I wouldn't say bad, but there was definitely things that, I don't know if it would have changed my mind of going or not. It just would have made me more prepared mentally, I guess. I'm not even talking about like animals. I'm not even talking about that. Just the overall just conditions and, you know, the boat and just things like that. Maybe a little bit spruced up in the conversations that I had with people compared to what it really was, which you would expect. But overall, all 6 of us did have a good time. All 6 of us tagged out. All of us, but one dude got Drake Harlequin. One guy didn't get one, but you know, if he watches this video, you already know you're going to go back one day and get one, so don't even stress it. All of us got barrows, golden eyes. You know, some of us saw foxes. I missed a fox. I think I was the only one that shot at a fox, so I mean, that was pretty slim pickings. All of us caught fish that wanted to catch fish. Maybe not the target species we wanted, but you know, we all caught fish that were fishing. Tons of seals, sea otters, like I said, other animals. I mean, overall, the weather. I mean, a couple of guys saw mountain goats. You know, me and my buddy Jay, we saw 2 grizzly bears in 2 days. One of them was like 60, 70 yards away. Saw a grizzly bear stand up, you know, all that sort of stuff. I mean, absolutely amazing. Eagles, just all the stuff that you would think of Alaska. Truly amazing, gorgeous place. I would love to go back one day. Love to do it again one day. Would you need an unguided charter service to do this hunt? No. No, not at all. Is it a convenience? 100%. 100%. Nobody wants to eat freeze-dried food for a week. If you do, there's something wrong with you. But could you? Yes. Just bring a bear fence. And that's it. Assuming weather's decent and you can fly in and fly out, and that's just a delay on either end that you need to factor into your hunt, you can easily onX Kodiak Island. You can pick a place on there that you think would be a good place. Depending on the time of year, just be careful that a lot of those lakes, like when we were up there, a lot of those lakes were frozen. There was a few lakes at some places that weren't, but where we were hunting, lakes were frozen. The ocean was open, obviously. So on the Kodiak side, though, it was starting to freeze up a little bit in the harbors, a little skiff ice. And then in Larson Bay itself, I know there was a skiff ice in the marina, but I mean, it's just the time of year. You never know. It could be bitter cold. It could be a lot more ice. It could be a little bit warmer, and you might have some of those lakes open. But anyway, getting back. On exit, do some research. Maybe talk to people that have hunted up there before and see where they went, see where they saw deer. There's plenty of DIY guys. It's a DIY hunt. You can do it. You can pay for a float plane, and it would be cheaper than a charter service. Like anything else, you're paying for convenience, right? We all know that. But I would much rather take a dump in the alders along the beach than go in that bathroom again. Just saying. So that alone is a step above. In my sleeping bag in a tent would be more room than the bunk with all my gear. So right there's 2 steps ahead. A few things like that. There were streams, plenty of creeks and streams and stuff like that you could filter water, plenty of water. Factor that into your mapping when you're looking for a place to stay. Factor in the weather, so you find a place out of the wind, just things like that you want to try to take into account when you're planning this. But could somebody do this on the cheaper? 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. You're just not going to be fishing, but could you find a place along the shore, assuming the wind's right, that you could set up to duck hunt? 1,000,000%. A lot of those birds, not all of them, but you get a lot, or a few anyway, that will just cruise the shoreline. Could you set up on a shoreline somewhere? Absolutely. I had one bird of all the birds fly into a decoy. One, the entire time. The last day I hunted, I didn't even use decoys, and I had birds still fly by me. So take that for what it is. Do decoys help out there? I'm sure they do, have no doubt. I watched plenty of videos of it. Did they work when we were hunting? Didn't seem to matter. So I don't know. Birds are birds. I don't know what they do. So again, could you deer hunt on your own without a charter? 1,000,000%. You could. You just got to put a little bit more planning into it. So, and account for weather, because you may be stuck out there 1, 2, 3 extra days. It might take you that many days to fly out. So again, if your schedule's flexible, you can do it. You can hunt a deer. You don't need a charter service. But is it nice to come back and know that someone's making food when you come back? Sure, absolutely. Is it nice to know you had a dry place where a bear wasn't going to tear your camp up? 1,000,000%. But even then, there's condensation from how cold it was on the roof hatch in there that was dripping down into the bottom 2 dudes' bumps all day. So one of the days they didn't realize that, and their sleeping bags got all wet. And it's all mildewy and moldy and shit down in the thing. So could I sleep in a tent and be drier? Perhaps. Could I get into some garbage weather and just have my stuff wet the entire time and be wet the entire time in a tent? 100%. Was it nice to be able to hang my stuff up in the boat inside and dry out, when the heater was running? Absolutely. So what's your trade-off? That is your trade-off. Enough said right there. So if you want to do it a little bit harder, a little more rustic than as rustic as we had it, believe it or not, you can 100% do it. So if I go back to Kodiak again, that is what I'm going to be looking to do. It's just a full-on, do my own thing, bring a tent, pack all my gear, pack a bear fence, set it up and just hunt, do my own thing for 4, 5, 6 days, do whatever. So, but again, what an adventure. I wouldn't trade it for anything. It sounds like I'm griping a lot, but I'm just giving you kind of some of the goods and bads and overall what I experienced from this thing. Would I do a charter again? No. That's just me. But having never been there, which the majority of the people watching this video have never been. I watched many, many Kodiak videos before going up there, trying to get an idea of what to expect. One, you'll just never know what to expect on the boat and what the boat is about. So every boat is different. There was a bigger boat in the fleet that some other guys were on. Not sure how they got the luck of the draw to be on that boat, but our group ended up being on a different boat. So that is what it is. I don't make the decisions of who gets a 15, 20 foot longer boat, 4 foot wider boat, a boat with bigger living area, a boat with a TV, a boat with a better bathroom that had a better shower arrangement apparently. I guess that's the luck of the booking. But my boat didn't seem to have that. So, that you might get that boat. Who knows? So every charter is different. Every boat is different. So, what do you say? I can't speak for everybody. I'm just speaking from my experience and what I dealt with when I was out there. But again, would I go back and do a charter? Absolutely not. I'm paying that much money. I'd rather just do it myself, pay it for a float plane. Or just a different way to get there. Totally do that. Not saying that there's deer everywhere. Apparently some guys in our group talked to somebody at the hotel on a different charter service, different part of the island. And I believe it was 6 guys, and all 6 guys hunted a week, same length as we did. Not one of them got a deer. So I don't know how. I don't know anything beyond I don't even know their charter name. I don't know who they booked. I don't know where in the island that they were. I just know it was a different part of the island from us, and none of them shot a deer. All 6 of them went home empty-handed. So that would be depressing. Not that shooting a deer is everything, but when you do this much time and money, I think the opportunity to shoot a deer is what we would all at least ask for. So I don't know if these guys missed deer or shot at a bunch and missed them. I don't know the details. I just know they went home empty-handed. So that would suck. So that's the risk that you take when you go with these places, is that might be you, even though they're a charter and they say you're going peak rut, best time to be there, best week to be there, you're going to see 1 million deer. Every doe has a buck, bucks everywhere, bucks on the beach, bucks on the mountains, bucks in here, everywhere there's a buck. You never know. Animals are going to do what animals do. So at the end of the day, I was trying to count. If you include the deer that I shot, we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My buddy Jay and I saw 6 bucks in 2.5 days of hunting. We were in one area the whole time. They dropped our group. We had 3 groups of 2, 6 hunters. They dropped us all off on one beach. So I've heard in years past from several people that was not the MO before. They always drop people like miles apart, and you were in places where you never saw another hunter again. I don't know why for us specifically, we happened to be in one beach and hunting one just small area, but we were able to spread out at least and not, I could hear people's gunshots for sure. I just couldn't see them because the grass is 6 feet tall and, it's super thick, but that was kind of odd. I don't know the reason for that other than it was saving gas. There's 1,100 gallons of gas on that boat, and it motored all of maybe 10 miles, maybe the entire trip that we were on. Or 500, I want to say it was 1,100 gallons on the boat, but maybe it was 500 gallons. Let's just say it's 500. 500 gallons of fuel. The boat motored 10 miles at a normal, just boating operating speed. A couple of knots, I don't know, 6, 8 knots or 10 knots or whatever it's running. How much fuel do you think was burned in a whole trip? Not 500 gallons, and I would say not anywhere near 500 gallons. The skiff, in a full week, barely made it through 1 tank of fuel, like 6-gallon tank or something on the skiff. 6 or 8 gallon tank. Barely made it through a tank of gas on the skiff in a week. And that was picking up birds because they split us up and stuff like, because the other hunters wanted to kind of do their thing and I was alone. So we split up, but bird retrieval, moving us around, things like that took up a little bit, but 1 tank of gas in the skiff and maybe 10 miles of motoring in the boat. I think there was plenty of fuel to move us around anywhere we wanted to go to spread out a ridiculous amount of space away from each other. Now, at the end of the day, did it work out and we all got deer? Yes. But could we have been the other charter of the guys that didn't get deer? Absolutely. Who knows? So that was weird. I don't know why that was. We were told that the next charter, the last charter of the season, the charter after us, was some board members from First Light Camo that were going to be on the charter. Now, did that play a factor in why we weren't moved around? Why we didn't get to areas that had more ducks, where we didn't get to areas that we could fish more, where we weren't running looking for foxes on the beach more? I mean, was this a factor or not? I have no clue. But I did hear many, many times that these First Light board members were going to be on the next charter. And so, who knows? I don't know. It seemed like there was plenty of fuel to run around and do a lot of these things. And should we have opened our mouths and said, hey, we want to go 5 miles, down the beach that way to go duck hunt. We don't want to duck hunt, right here. I guess. Yeah, I guess. But what do you do? I don't know. It just, again, all the expectations were a lot of assumptions. And again, like I said earlier, you know what assuming makes of people. So, was it me just assuming more, or is that just really how it is? I have no clue. I've never been on a charter before. I don't know. So I'm only comparing it to the other guys that had done it one time before. And they said from the experience that they had before, weather aside, take the weather equation out of it completely. The experience that they had before, 3 years ago, using the same charter service, to the experience that they had on this go around, they said was a complete 180, completely different. So take that into consideration. I don't know. I mean, things change. There's different people. I don't know. So, but beautiful country. I would love to go to Kodiak again. I would love to hunt there again. I would love to do that again. I would probably get a group of guys, if I ever did it again, and do my own adventure, do my own hunt, take the charter service out of the equation. Plenty of areas to go hunt and move around and still be a lot cheaper. So it's doable. But all the bags came home. None of it got lost. None of it got damaged. All the meat got home. Everything was still frozen. The ducks were still frozen. So there's no waste on anything there. So that was amazing considering how long it took to get home. The layovers were ridiculous. So everything got home in one piece. I pulled the guns apart. The guns aren't rusted. They're still all in one piece. So huge bonus there. And yeah, I mean, tons of photos and memories and things like that. Hopefully be able to splice, you know, some of the photos into this video here so you can see it. But I mean, just what a cool adventure. I look forward to the day that I could ever go back again. It would be absolutely amazing. Yeah, super grateful for it. I really am. You'll see in the video, we shoot our deer, and I don't know what it was, but just super emotional about it. Maybe just all the planning and the time and just other, you know, personal things that came into the equation. It was a lot, but yeah, awesome trip. I did today, so I'm only back a day. Got Mr. Buck. Little crabby 4x3, but he's still a 4x3. I'll take him. He was the only 4 taken in the whole trip by anybody, so that was kind of cool. But if some of those dudes are watching the trip, a couple of you shot some 3 points that 6 points for some of you guys on the other side of the Mississippi River there. But a couple of guys shot 3s or 6s that were studs. Absolute awesome deer. So I'm super jealous of them. This one just happened to have a little crab to give it a 4. So hey, I ain't gonna complain about that. But yeah, some of you guys, you know who you are. You shot some awesome 3 points. Super jealous. But I did measure them out today. No drying period. It's only been a day, or I guess a week since I shot them. So only been a week. And I was measuring using decimals and not fractions because of my little pea-sized brain can't compute all that at the moment. So I need my 6-year-old to do it because doing his homework today, he knows math better than me. But I did it Boone and Crockett, by the way. I should mention that. Boone and Crockett measurement scoring with a 4-inch deduction that was taken. He come out at 79. So if you don't do the 4-inch deduction, he was 83. But again, I guess that wouldn't be official. So he came out at 79 roughly, according to me and my little measurements. So pretty awesome. I'll take him. Book is 100 inches. So man, a 100-inch Sitka Blacktail would be phenomenal. I couldn't even imagine if you add 20 inches to this. Unless my scoring is way off and he's 10 inches bigger than what I think, then that would be an amazing deer. I could imagine a 100-inch blacktail. That'd be awesome. For Kodiak, on the other hand, I know Kodiak's different than the Southeast, and genetically, maybe it seems to me, Southeast Alaska, you know, British Columbia, you know, down in that area, that deer are a little bit bigger antlers, or maybe even quite a bit bigger antlers down in the Southeast area in that region compared to Kodiak. So it would be interesting to know, if any of you know watching this, please tell me, what or if there's a little bit different scoring for Kodiak deer in comparison to deer in the Southeast. So maybe there is. I truly do not know. But according to Boone and Crockett, there is not. But It seems as though there is a little bit difference in size, although this year there were some hunters that took some absolute giant blacktails on Kodiak, so maybe not, but I could not be happier with this deer. Could not be happier. I am just super stoked. What I had in my mind is I wanted a deer with at least 3 on one side. Brow tine, no brow tine, I just wanted 3 points on one side. That was kind of my goal going into the trip, what I wanted to look for, and got them. So I just could not be any more stoked about this deer. So he'll go on the wall. Already got arrangements made. So I just don't know how it gets any cooler than that. It's just an awesome deer and memories forever. My 6-year-old already wants to go to Alaska and hunt. So, I mean, how much more proud can you be, you know, as a dad when, you know, he's been pestering me since I've been home nonstop to go to Alaska and hunt in Alaska. So, pretty amazing. But anyone has any questions, anyone watching this, questions, concerns, feedback, their experiences, whatever it might be, you know, throw it in the comments, and I'll try to answer the best I can from my experience and what I saw and dealt with, you know, and we can just talk about it. So if you have any questions or concerns or whatever, you have comments, you're going on a trip, you're planning a trip, booking a trip, logistically, you know, gear-wise, whatever it is that you might think, throw it in the comments, and I'll, you know, answer back and see what we can do to help each other, because that's how we're going to learn. That's how, you know, maybe I had done the same thing, I probably would have learned a little bit more and not had different expectations. So, you know, probably would have saved me from assuming a lot of things. But yeah, throw it in the comments. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, I hope you enjoy the pictures. What a truly amazing adventure. I would totally do it again. Can't wait to visit Kodiak again and do that thing. So we'll see you on the next one, guys. Thanks for watching.